So I had a really great experience last night. I went to the Human Nature concert in the ICC, and not only was the concert absolutely fabulous, but what I was also really impressed with was the service I received from the ICC Sydney staff. Now, the ICC is the International Convention Centre in Darling Harbour in Sydney. I've never been to this venue before, and so I was a little bit nervous. I saw the soundcheck party clip from the guys in the afternoon and saw that there weren't any railings in the venue to get down the stairs, and I was thinking, oh dear, I'm going to need extra help. I'm going to have to go early. So I booked the Uber. I made it early, and I went in. And when I go to an unfamiliar place, because I'm visually impaired, I don't have depth perception, and I thought I'm going to need it. I can't see the edges, steps clearly. So I thought I'm going to take my long cane. And for those of you who don't know what a long cane looks like, it's this, right? So this is folded up. So you hold the black handle and the little white nozzle ball is on the ground in front of you. So yeah, it's quite, and the red part's reflective. So when I got out of the Uber, a man immediately in uniform approached me, asked me where I wanted to go, and I was very impressed with that. He was really polite, and I, told him where I wanted to go, and he gave really good, clear instructions, although in the end he just said, I'll follow the crowd. Told me where to get an Uber home, kind of, but I thought, I'll worry about that later. When I got to the end of the two buildings he told me to go to, follow the crowd, I was then stuck. I was looking around, there were crowds everywhere, there were restaurants, anyway, and I was looking around, and what was interesting, nobody approached me. None of the public approached me and said, can I help you? Where are you trying to get to? But, I've experienced that before. But anyway, saw a notice board with a little black arrow pointing in the right direction. So I followed that. I followed the crowd. I thought, all right, I think I'm going in the right direction. I know I'm going in the right direction. And I got there, got to the end. Still, nobody was sort of asking me if I needed assistance when I'd stop. And I even had people walking in front of me with the cane, which is a little irritating because if I'd have hit them, they wouldn't have been impressed. But I got in there, went to go through the security where they bag check. The guy's just waving me on, and I'm thinking, okay, yes, I can see you, but, some people with a cane can't necessarily see you. And he didn't say a word. He just waved me on. Anyway, got there, and there was some little steps to go up. So I thought, okay, I'll go up these steps. There were some people in suits standing there, didn't pay me any attention. I was like, okay, they're probably just security. They're not interested. But then, as I passed them and started to walk towards the building, this man came up to me. He had a thing in his ear, came up to me and said, can I help you? And he was fabulous. I told him where I was going. He said, okay, come with me. He escorted me in. He said, do you want to go up the escalator or in the lift? I said, I can do the escalator. We went up the escalator. He asked me where I was sitting. He took me into the venue, spoke to the ushers, because I said I would need help. Spoke to the ushers. The usher took my arm, offered her arm, took me down the stairs really slowly at my pace to my seat in row H in the ICC in section 3. And she took me down. We got in the rush, and then she said, I'll come back at the end of the show and take you back out. And I said, thank you very much. That's fine. We had the cover band, which was two of the guys. And when that finished, she came up to me and said, are you right? Do you need to go out? Are you fine? She checked on me. And then at the end of the performance, she was right there, and she took me out, exited the building, and then she said, where do you need to go? And I said, I need to get an Uber or a taxi home. And this was when I was really, really impressed because she had to help somebody else. So there was another usher there, a man. She said, okay, we'll wait by this spot and I'll come back for you. Anyway, the man radioed the guy that helped me at the beginning, and I found out then his name was Stephen. And Stephen, you were fabulous. And anyway, he said, okay, everybody's gone. I will take you. Stephen appeared and said, how did you enjoy the show? You know, where do you need to go now? And I said, I need to get a taxi. He said, okay. Said to the usher next to me, are you happy to take her round the corner and leave her at the taxi rank? And he did. Took me down the steps and round the corner, round the building to the taxi rank, made sure I was okay, and left me to get a taxi. Now, okay, and I got, and somebody else was there who got me a taxi and said, you get in the taxi first and go. I have never experienced that much kindness at a venue before. I've had ushers assist me down to my seat, but not make sure that I've left okay and make sure that I can find where to go home. And you know, to have someone follow up at the end of the night and check that I had a good night, that was really impressive. So ICC Sydney, for anybody with any special needs or anything like that, absolutely fabulous. I can't recommend them highly enough. So that's a big tick for the ICC Sydney.